Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for November the 6th through November the 12th. And this is a general reading. If you would like a personal reading, the information will be underneath in the description box. Also, because this is a general reading, it will resonate with some of you and some of it won't. And so just take what you can, what resonates with you, and just leave the rest. This is also for your sun, moon and rising, so I will have links to the other videos below so that you can check out your moon and rising and get a fuller picture of what's going on with you. Now, thank you so much for last week for the love, and I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up for this video. Comment, give me feedback, I really appreciate that, and I always answer. I read all the comments and I answer. Share if you feel inspired to the other social media platforms, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, please follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and those links will be below too. Anyway, without further ado, let's go to your cards, Sagittarius. And the first card, and this is a fluid reading, it's not about, you know, the order in which the cards have appeared or come out. But your first card is the Hermit. Look at that. Now, the Hermit is someone that's really, he's like a spiritual teacher, right? He's like a guru. He's, you know, he's removed himself from society, and he's been in solitude, and he has meditated, and he's come out of that with a spiritual enlightenment. And he's up here, you see, and he's got all these magical powers, and he's holding up the light to show other people the way. When the Hermit comes up in your card, look, he looks like a wizard. I love this depiction of him in this set, in this deck. So when he comes up in a reading, he's saying, listen, meditate. You need to meditate. You need to connect with the source energy, and you need to be able to, because look, all the answers are within. We're in this period where we really are becoming more and more intuitive, and our psychic abilities are being enhanced, and we're going to go towards that deeper wonder. And we're in Scorpio, darling. Scorpio's all about death and rebirth. I mean, think about the time of year, you know. My intros on all these videos are the latest walks that I've done with my dog Sparky, and I take photographs of trees and things that I see along the way in the park, and all the leaves. It's a little confusing here though, I have to say, because yesterday was 70 degrees and today was pretty cold. So, you know, I don't think the planet knows what to do. So there are all these dead leaves, and then there are all these very green shoots coming up. So it's really interesting. But anyway, I digress. What I meant is look, in fall and going into winter, everything seems dead. And sorry, that's my dog barking. Sparky, stop. So everything seems as though it's dying and dead, but really there's a lot going on deep, deep down in the soil. And we're in Scorpio, it's about death and rebirth, right? Everything's dying off, and then it gets born again in the spring, but it's all being done underneath in the deep, dark soil underneath. And that's why, you know, Scorpio is very kind of deep and getting down and dirty, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but anyway. Now, then we have the Two of Wands, which makes me think that you're going to have rather an important decision to make. I don't know, I'm getting that you might be deciding whether to travel or not. That's what I'm getting from this card. You might be deciding whether you should go away or not. Maybe it's because of the holidays, I don't know. But you're making this decision to perhaps travel. And I don't think it's just a short travel. I think it's extensive. I think it's further away. That's what I'm getting for some of you anyway. In the traditional tarot, this card is like two chests and a key kind of thing, and you have to choose the right one. Maybe it's a complete move that you're going for. You are making a decision, and I feel like you're really thinking about going far away and really starting something new. So I can't advise you on whether to go this, because I can't, I would normally do a clarifying card, but I can't actually look at this. Okay, I've got it. You have to meditate for the answer to this question, right? The decision is going to come to you when you meditate. I normally say that when this card comes up, but then you've got the Hermit right next to it. I don't know why it just didn't pop out at me immediately. You have to actually, you're going to have to go inside. Look, all the answers are inside. When you quieten your mind intuitively, when I was talking about intuition and psychic abilities, you're going to know which decision to make. You're really going to get it. Now, then we have the Six of Wands, which is, the Six of Wands is like success. It's so funny because sixes after fives are usually turmoil and uncertainty and can be conflicting. But this is like, public recognition. This is like a really successful end to something that you've been doing, either a project or it's the completion of something. And this is a very successful completion. So this can mean that you get accolades at work, like people really appreciate you and tell you, and your boss will say you're doing a great job. Somebody's going to give you some kind of accolades. You're going to, and it's not going to be kind of on the back scenes. It's going to be public. So yeah, that's what I'm getting with that card. Now we have the Five of Swords. Now we also have the Seven of Swords. These two cards coming up together makes me think that there's somebody working behind the scenes, kind of against you. Something's not quite right. So it's, when I pick this card up, do you remember that song? They smile in your face, the backstabbers, backstabbers. This makes me think, I know I can't sing. This makes me think of frenemies, right? It's somebody who's smiling in your face but stabbing you in the back when you're not around. And this kind of confirms that. So somebody's jealous. Somebody doesn't have your best interest at heart, and yet they're smiling, I just watch out for someone like this, because if you don't give them power, they can't kind of... Okay, let me just step back a minute, right? So this is somebody that's let me just tune into these cards. Okay, so somebody's doing something underhanded in behind the scenes, behind your back, right? Somebody that you know, and look, he's even smiling, right? He's smiling, but he's trying to take something from you. Now, maybe he's trying to take credit for a job, maybe he's trying to actually steal something, but I think it's more, what I'm getting is somebody that's not perhaps putting you down, at the very least, gossiping and putting you down. With this card, I think you have to be very careful not to kind of react in an angry way, because you may hear about this. And you're definitely probably thinking about it. You're probably already kind of somewhat aware and you haven't really looked at it. But this is definitely saying do not react. Try to, listen. You can either ignore this or you can address it with him or her in a, this is about being, it's about confronting someone without being confrontational. So you can say to them, what is going on? I'm hearing that you're saying this, that you're saying that, and that you're doing that. What's the problem? Would you like to discuss it with me? I mean, listen, it's your words, obviously, and it depends on the situation because this is a general reading. It's just, I know that some of you are going to have this situation going on. And it's probably at work. And that's what I'm getting. It's somebody who's definitely doesn't have your best interest at heart. And then, then we have the Four of Pentacles, which makes me think that you're hanging on to something that you shouldn't be hanging on to. I'm not sure what this is. Only you can answer that. But this can actually mean for some of you, you're afraid to spend, right? To spend money because you think that it won't be replenished. And when you hold on to money like that and you don't spend it, it's almost like you're blocking it, right? And listen, money is energy, right? Abundance is giving, receiving, it's a give and take. So when you're not spending it and you're being really miserly, and that means to yourself too. Maybe you're not treating yourself well. Oh no, I'm not going to buy that. I can't afford it. I don't deserve it, right? You have to, sometimes you got to splash out a bit on yourself, You have to spend money and just you've got to feel as though you're in a little bit of opulence and abundance in order to attract that back. And it's just give and take. Don't hang on to it. And for some of you, you could be hanging on to someone. Some of you could be hanging on to someone that's really not working for you. And you know it's not working for you. But it's it's one of those situations where it's almost like someone really likes you, so it's easy, right? Even though you know it's not working, it's just, oh, that person really likes me, it's easy. But it's not good for you and it's not good for the other person. So this is definitely let it go. Let go of the hoarding and let go of the person that's not working for you. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And this is someone that's really worked hard, right? Really toiled, and he's standing right next to, proud of what he's done, right? And he's looking at all the seeds that have come to fruition. And today, actually, I'm recording this on the 4th, and the full moon was really in the middle of the night, last night one. So it's kind of still continuing. And this is the full moon in Taurus. And full moons are where we see, it's okay, new moons are where you plant the seed, and full moons are where you kind of reap it all in, right? So it's kind of interesting that this card comes up. So when this card comes up, I always say, of course, I always say that seven again, right? Introspective. It's, you know, very meditative. So I'm getting meditate. Three cards are telling me that you ought to meditate. But this card in particular, right, is saying, look at what you've accomplished. Look back and say, wow, look how far I've come. I've done really well. So this is about focusing, and I've been saying this for weeks, you know, for months. This is about focusing on what is working for you. Don't think about like, look, he's done all his work and he's in the fields, he's toiling, he's taking a moment and he's looking and standing next to everything that he's done, right? And he's watching everything bloom. And he's appreciating it. The important thing is to look at how much you've done, what you've accomplished, instead of thinking how much more you have to accomplish. You have to look and be grateful for what you have accomplished and really give yourself a pat on the back for that, Sagittarius. So this is saying appreciate what you've done. You know, you are definitely going to get accolades this week. Somebody, you know, you're going to get praised for the work that you've done. Somebody's going to appreciate you. They're either somebody's going to say, look, you've done a really great job. It can also mean that you even get a raise at work, or a promotion, or some kind of reward. You're getting some kind of reward for the work that you've put in so far, Sagittarius. And this is interesting because this time, at this particular time, it's a highly manifesting time, but it's manifesting from the work that you've done all year. So you have to look at all the work that you've done through the year and really say, wow, look, I've done pretty well. You know, instead of, because it's so easy for us to say, oh my God, I've got to do this, I didn't do that, I need to do more, I haven't got enough of this, I haven't got enough of that. Instead of saying, wow, wow, that's really good. Be in gratitude. When you're in gratitude, you attract more things to be grateful for. Sagittarius, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah, I love you all, and I'll see you next week. For a personal reading, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.